What's up, y'all? It's your girl AnEyeIVKicks. So it feels like it's been a minute. Crazy things going on, but I'm back. I wanted to kind of get more in detail with the custom Air Force Ones. Now, if you checked out my last video, you already know exactly what shoe I am talking about. If you haven't, go back and check it out, guys. It's seriously amazing. The Kicks for Your Soul event was amazing as always, and you gotta check out your girl's costume. I really think I did my thing on this. I gotta figure out how to top it for next year, but I've got some time. Anyhow, so, you know, I did talk about and show the Freddy Kruger Air Force One custom that I did, but I wanted to really go into more detail. This is definitely my, most in-depth or most detailed custom to date, and I'm really proud of myself for it and really excited. So I want to show y'all the entire process. But before I get into the video and the process, make sure that if you are not already subscribed to the channel, if you're new, if you just haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss any of the videos that I'm going to release. Always great content. You never know what I'm going to do next. Make sure you like this video and comment below, this is a great video for you to give me, any tips and tricks. If any of you do customizations, what are some things that you saw me do that, or will see me do, that you would tweak or do a little bit different? Or is there something that, completely different that you would add to the process? Give me your input, give me your advice. I'm always open to being able to do them better. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and check out this making of the Freddy Kruger Air Force Ones.
Let me change your life. You wanna see that you can be anything you want, baby.
All right, y'all. So here we have the shoes. Yes, I still keep them in the box. I may have to get like extra special display case for these. It may be one of, if not the only custom that I get to do for myself. Just a quick side note, I am not taking any orders for customs right now at this time. Doesn't mean it'll never happen, but guys, it's the holidays. Your girl is swamped between YouTube and crafting and gifts and all this other stuff. So as of right now, not taking custom orders. But again, make sure that you have the notification bell hit, because if I ever talk about opening for custom orders and you've been interested, you don't want to miss that. So let's get into this beauty. Let's take a more in-depth look at it. Now, you've already seen exactly the process of how it was created. I think the only thing that I missed was the blood splatter along, you know, the front of the shoe and up around the laces, even a little bit on the swooshes, you know, because his claws. I mean, that was pretty basic. I had taped off the sole, and I had taped off, you know, the toe box, anything that I didn't want blood splatter on. And then I don't know if, okay, so you can see the detailing pretty well on there. So for the larger splatters that really kind of gave that slashing effect, I did actually the back end of the paintbrush to really get that look, that effect. And then for like the small paint splatters in there, I did a toothbrush. I mean, that's pretty common. Obviously, we've got the red and green striping for his sweater. So a lot of what I did, I mean, obviously, if you're a sneakerhead and you know anything, you know that, you know, there was the Nike Dunk Freddy Krugers. Now those things are crazy. Those things are also going for crazy money. So I use that as inspiration, and I'll talk more about those in a minute. I use those definitely for my main inspiration. Actually, I can go ahead and pop up an image of them so you can see how similar they are as far as like the paneling. The only thing is on the back, obviously, I did my own little twist on it. With Dunks, they have like an extra separation little panel here that they included the sweater print all the way to the back. Air Force Ones don't have that, so I kind of, you know, got creative with it on my own, which I think they came out better. But anyhow, so when it comes to the colors that I chose, you'll notice on the Dunks or a lot of other shoes, like the Dunks was more of a vibrant red and green, like very Christmassy. I actually used images of like the original Freddy Krueger. I happened to be watching a marathon of the movies while I was making these, appropriately enough. But I actually used pictures of the original Freddy Krueger to reference my color matching. I wanted it to be more true to the iconic, you know, what everybody thinks of. Yeah, so then let me go ahead and get into the back. Now, as you guys can see, and as by this time I'm sure you've seen, or I hope you've seen my previous video, this is actually all liquid latex on the back of here. So that gives it that fleshy look and actual feel to it. Now, I wasn't sure how it would hold up because when used on skin, liquid latex actually peels off pretty easily. And I will show y'all my face from the event. So clearly it peels off pretty darn easily. So I was kind of nervous putting it on the sneakers. Honestly, if it had peeled off, it would have been okay. It would have gotten my point across. It would have, you know, been my entry into, you know, the contest at the event. But it didn't. It actually held up really, really well. I think I have a little bit of cracking in the paint, but nothing with the liquid latex. And then obviously, you know, I wanted to recreate the claw on the side there with the swoosh. I had like a silver metallic paint that I had to add a drop of black to because it was way too light. I think that really captured like the metallic claw very nicely. And then I did like a bronze on the back. I was gonna do brown. A lot of people just do brown for the base of the claw, but I felt like the bronze matched it better. And if you look, again, if you look back at the original Freddy Krueger, that bronze really just is really what it was. And then of course I even custom dyed the laces. I tried to get it to match the paint, but when you use dye versus paint, obviously you get a little bit difference. And then of course the sock liner as well. I even, as you guys saw, did dye the sole of it, or the sole of it. And so it really was all about the details, and I'm super excited about this pair. Talking more on the dunks that had released, again, hugely my reference for this shoe, but I don't have $50,000 for the dunks. Now, if they release those dunks, like actually release them, it would go crazy. And I will be honest, I did not realize until recently, and more so at the actual event when I was wearing these, that the Freddy Krueger dunks were not, I thought they were just a stupid limited release that they did, but they were actually only samples that were released. And then one other thing I forgot to mention, now you can't really see it under the blood splatters, but I had taken, because if you look at the image again of the Freddy Krueger dunks, they have like ashy dirt spots along it. And I was like, all right, well that makes sense for Freddy, because he's, you know, you see him with, you know, like hell and fire and furnaces and all that other stuff. It all goes into his story. So I was like, all right, that makes sense. So I burn up some paper in the sink and rub some ashes along it. But I actually found out that, and this is what I was told, so if you guys know, if I was, you know, misinformed, or you know something different, again, make sure you drop it in the comments, let your girl know the true story. But I was told that because they were samples, the Freddy Krueger dunks were actually, they tried to burn them. So a lot of people, if they own a pair, they have the oil stains on them. So, I mean, that's kind of freaking insane, but it makes sense. Now, my theory is, if you ask me, it was probably some sort of licensing issue as to why they didn't release the dunks. But I don't know, because then Vans just did a Freddy Krueger pair, which, I mean, they're kind of very generic, but still dope. And then there's the Freddy Krueger Air Max. So I'm not really sure what the story is there. Again, guys, if you know more than I do, let your girl know. Share the information. I find it quite fascinating. I am huge on details and huge on history, and I think this shoe captures that perfectly. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up the video today. Now again, y'all saw in the previous video, your girl won the costume contest and won that $200 cash. I did already purchase or order my sneaker that I was putting that to when I went in. When I made these, I already knew, like, if I won that contest, exactly what pair I wanted. So go ahead, take a guess. Put your guess in the comments below. What shoe do you guys think that I put that $200 towards? And again, I know this is like the third time I've said it, hit the notification bell, because your girl has a video coming up very soon to let you know and show off what I got. So as always, keep tuning in to see what I've got my eye on next.